Hi guys, so it's Mena Colette, and today I want to talk a little bit about buying things in your name for someone else, taking out contracts on behalf of other people, signing for certain assets for other people, and just like this whole nyaka that some of us get ourselves into, and it's absolutely horrendous and horrific because it never really turns out great. And when it has for you, I really do commend you for whatever relationship it is that you guys went into. And I know that some people do it in marriage, and even there I'm just like but you know, marriage is an institution of God, so who am I to challenge such things? And people will stay married forever, you know. Anyway, just going back to the conversation, remember that none of my videos constitute as financial advice. If you are looking for financial advice, please do consult a financial advisor who is registered with FSB. So let's get straight into it. A few years ago, I knew a person who bought a car. Well, it was a couple, right? And they had this car, and every single time I came up to Johannesburg, because I used to stay in Grahamstown, I was at Rhodes University, so I used to come up to Johannesburg, and we would party in this car. We would go to certain restaurants in this car, and it was really nice, Begumnandi, and the boyfriend used to drive the car all the time. So only when I moved up to Johannesburg a few years later, only to find out, we would see Kunzima. This car was actually bought for him under the girlfriend's name, right? So she went to the bank and she got the entire vehicle asset finance loan, and she wrote her name, her ID number, everything. Guys, her proof of address. I mean, she could have at least used this proof of address. Her proof of address, every single thing, she put it in her name, and she bought this man a car. And the deal was that he would pay all the installments, the insurance, everything. So I'm assuming that when she did this, it was because he probably he didn't qualify for vehicle asset finance, or he was probably blacklisted, as we call it in this country, blacklisted. There's no such a thing as being blacklisted. You just have bad credit. But in any case, so I'm assuming that's the reason why she then bought the car in her name. But you know, like all good things in life, things don't last, and love does not last, and love is never enough, and sometimes people's word is not enough. So when they broke up, this mother of a decided that he is no longer going to pay. But let me tell you what even made it worse. He thought he could keep the car. Imagine, you're not paying for the car and you think you can keep the car. I mean, what type of human being are you? What type of home training do some of us get at home? Because I don't get it. Like, what have you been taught at home? You know, the one thing my father always taught me was to have shame, guys. Have scam. My father always said, don't embarrass me, and please have shame. Like, don't be that person, that child who's just uncouth, eh? So anyway, this guy decided he wanted to keep the car. So me, as being a great friend, I was like, no, darling, we're going to go fetch the car. This guy is no longer paying for this car, so we're fetching it. So you can imagine now, he stopped paying for a couple of months. The bank was coming to, you know, knocking at my friend's door. The bank was coming saying, listen, we want you to pay the money. So now she was now held liable because the bank doesn't care, Uguti, what deal you have with another person. The bank says you are the one who came here to borrow money to buy a car. We know you as owning that car. So therefore, you are liable for this car. And I can just imagine all the other complicated things that come with it, guys. Now, if the car is in an accident, they come knocking at your door because the vehicle's registered under your name. If the person gets matigiti, like traffic fines, it's in your name now. Like, it's complicated, guys. It's really not worth it. But yeah, man. So please, guys, let's be very careful of buying people things in our names. I've heard of horrendous stories where people sign for phone contracts where, let's say, for instance, the contract comes with a double phone thing where you can get two phones. It's a good deal. It seems like a good deal. A friend of yours comes and says, friend, don't you want to go into this deal? Let's do it together. You can go and get the contract and I will pay into your account. Friendships don't last, guys. So now you are here without even the phone, and you are paying for it. I mean, it really just doesn't make sense. The other thing that you also need to be very careful of, and this has happened to one of my other friends, where she went and signed for a home loan with her mom. So she signed for a home loan with her mom because her mom in her income, she couldn't qualify for the house that she wanted. So with her income and her mom's income, it allowed her mom to actually get the house that she wanted. But now this girl is young. She is like 20 something years old. She's now moved into a space. This was a few years ago when she did this with her mom to help her mom. Now, a few years ago, she can't buy a lot of things because when the financial institutions look at her, she looks overcommitted because she's already got a bond, a home loan. So now buying a car is proving to be difficult. Getting a new home loan for her own house is proving to be difficult. Just getting simple access to credit has now become very difficult because of this home loan that she's co-signed on with her mother. And now the thing is, it's your mom. How do you say no? But the reality, guys, is that it is a difficult decision to make. And hence why we want people to get us fully educated when it comes to finances so they understand the impact of some of the decisions that we make. Because, I mean, this other friend of mine who bought the car, it was love. Love said, I trust you. Love said, I know you would never scam me. Love said, I know you will pay your installment every month without me having to ask you. And I love you and I trust you. And she did it. Same thing. It's her mother. What do? It's your mom. Your mom doesn't have a house and your mom's saying, please help me, my child. And you end up signing. So be very careful of those kind of things. Understand the impact. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying, understand the impact of it on your own personal finances and what it will mean for you. Imagine getting blacklisted because a person just decided it's going to stop paying for the house, the car, the cell phone contract. I mean, it really isn't worth it.